So Elliott, how's spring going for you so far? What stands out?
It's going pretty good. Probably what stands out is it's a lot of new faces, but I think that's what I enjoy about football, just getting to play with different people and, new people coming in. That's just how it goes.
Who's caught your eye so far from those newcomers?
Newcomers, it's been a lot of people. I would say we got a linebacker in. He came in, and Brevin. The two linebackers came in. I like the physicality out of both of them, and they're both like more kind of senior type players, so they kind of know what's going on, even though they are new. They know how it all goes down.
What are you working on at this time of the year? What are you trying to get out of the spring?
Well, last spring, I came in last spring. I was just trying to really just get my job down. So now I'm trying to really just understand the whole defense and, know where everybody's at, know where I can take chances, where I can make plays at, knowing where my help is, and just trying to be the leader that I know I can be.
How'd you feel like you performed last season? Anything that stands out when you look back at the year you put together?
I feel like I had a solid season. I left some plays out there for sure. But I had a solid season. I enjoyed the season with the team. It was a memorable team for sure.
What did it take for you to come in here as a new player on the roster and to sort of carve out as big of a role as you did? What did you have to sort of prove, or how did you get that done so quickly?
Really just putting in the work. I've always been taught to work hard. My folks taught me to work hard, so that's what I try to apply to everything I do.
Is that where you get your motivation from, or what kind of pushes you at this time of the year? You've been through spring football so many times. What does it take to kind of go through the grind?
Well, definitely, I just love the art of grinding, with your team and being able to see the results. And then when you look back on it, you realize, the little things do matter. You know what I'm saying? That one rep that you skipped, it did matter because later on in the season, you missed that one play. So, it all translates.
Is this the first time in your career you've had the same defense 2 years in a row?
It is, yes, sir. I'm excited about that for sure. Like you already know, I've had a different coach, or I've been at a different place year after year. Really, since high school, I've had a lot of coaches since high school. So it's nice to have the same playbook again.
For people who don't know, how big of a deal is that to you and to other players to have this kind of some consistency?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's so much communication, especially at safety, that you have to know. Like I said, you have to know what this linebacker's doing, what the corner is doing. So it's big to know that I'm walking into the same playbook I did last year. I don't have to think about anything new. I can just freely play.
Is it different in that group not having Rashad back there? How does that change things?
Oh, definitely. Rashad was a big piece, and Kalechi. They were both big pieces in that room. Big senior leaders. I learned a lot from them. I'm appreciative of them. Rashad, he went out and showed out in the pro day. I was proud of him for sure. But yeah, with them being gone, people have step up. Me and Ken and even the new guys coming in that are transfers, because they're not freshmen. So they already know what the standard should be. So we just have to apply that and make sure everybody knows what the standard is. Because like I said, it's a lot of new people coming from different places. They have different rules and standards. But we got to uphold ours here.
Do you talk more or lead more compared to when Rashad and Kalechi were here last year? Is that different for you?
For sure, I have to talk more. And just as a safety, you have to talk a lot as a safety. So, I was talking a lot last year as well, but just more of the leader aspect of talking, not just calling out the play, but, getting a team going, when people people's attitude not right, trying to help the team out.
It seems like you're sort of taking on more of the boundary safety role
this
year. How has that changed things for you?
Well, I had played boundary my freshman year in Carter where I was at, so I'm kind of a little familiar with boundary, and then I moved to free. And then when I got here, my first spring here, I was actually in the boundary, so, it's kind of, then I moved to free again, so I kind of got a little bit of both worlds now. But I like the boundary for sure.
Which one do you like more?
I'm going to just say the field just because I played it more. But the boundary, though, I am starting to like that it's a lot of plays that can be made from the boundary for sure. Like, you free up a lot, and it gives you a lot of room to just go be a ball player.
Do you feel like that's your strength, going out there just making those plays that you can make? Yes,
sir. I feel like being a ball player, it's a lot of schemes and a lot of plays that the offense can run, but at the end of the day, you're just playing ball. So That's what you got to do.
What are the big differences in the responsibilities between the two positions? Does it require different things out of a player?
Well, a lot of the communication is quite the same. It's just, the boundary. There's certain things that go on in the boundary that just not going to go onto the field just because of the spacing that you have. So it's not too much. It's not too different. It's not too different.
Is there more run support in the boundary role typically?
I would say yes, because a lot of offenses these days like to run it in the boundary. That's like a big thing to do. So I'd say the boundary would show up more in the run game than the field, because they normally have a lot more people to cover and they got to worry about covering.
How comfortable are you with that part of the game and the physicality that comes with defending that kind of a situation?
Oh, I love being physical. That's what I try to lead off my game with. Like, if you don't know anything else, like, that's what I want you to know.
Did you always want to come back for the extra year this season, or what was that thought process like for you?
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, this is my senior year. Like, I'm a true senior, so I was coming back either way it went. So yeah, and like you said earlier, to have that playbook again for another year is major.
Are there any particular goals you have for the fall, or anything you want to get out of this last year in college football?
Really just being the best version of me I can on and off the field. Off the field for sure. I'm working on me, and that translates a lot. I notice it translates a lot to what goes on in here, what goes on outside of here. So I don't really have any any number goals. I'm just worried about today and trying to be the best today and working as hard as I can today.
That's really interesting. What do you mean when you say you're working on you outside of the field? Like, what kind of things is that?
Just things like living right off the field. I'm a strong believer in God, so getting my relationship right with God. That's probably the biggest things. Communicating more with my family, being more intact with them, to being a better friend. There's always improvements you can make in your life.
You mentioned seeing Rashad ball out on Monday. You going into your true senior year.
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking for a year up the road? Are you trying to do exactly what he just did this past Monday?
For sure. He definitely motivated me to keep working, and even when after the season's over, it's still you starting back working again. Right? Everybody's going off season. You getting right into your training. So I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of him.
All right. Appreciate
Cool.
you.
Thanks, Elliott.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir. Appreciate y'all.